Deepak Chopra, Gabriella, Wright, thank you so much for joining this World Happiness Fest. And actually, we are doing this session from the University of Peace in Costa Rica. The whole theme of the week is about reconnecting. It feels like we are more and more separated from ourselves, from our communities, and from nature. And my question to you is, how do we reconnect? How do we reconnect with self? How do we reconnect with communities and with nature? So what do you think about?
Sure. Thank you, first of all, Louis, for having me. And thank you, Gabriella, for joining. And I'll say a few words, and maybe Gabriella can then expand on what we're doing with our Never Alone series. So, Louis, here is the very fundamental assumption. Very simple, but very straightforward. Everything that we call the world, everything that includes our mind, our body, and the physical world, is a direct projection every moment of our state of awareness. Direct projection of our state of awareness. As you know, having worked in this field for many years, in the Western parapsychological literature, transpersonal literature, there's a lot of talk about the hierarchy of needs. In the Eastern wisdom traditions, those hierarchy of needs are expanded into what we call the Seven Chakras, which are metaphors for states of awareness. So right now, if you look at the world in general, 99% of it is in the state of awareness that we would call fight-flight response, orchestrated by the reptilian brain, which is 300 million years old. So even though we pretend to be creatures of rationality and we talk about love, our brain's reptilian brain dominates our existence because it's older, it's 300 million years older. Then we have an emotional brain, which is only 100 million years old. And this emotional brain is actually found only in mammals, that are including primates, but other mammals that sing and play and cuddle and coo. And, they all have emotions, but human beings, because of our ego responses, our emotions right now are not really developed. Our emotions are either in mood where we are intimidating and controlling, or nice and controlling, or stubborn and controlling, or playing the victim and controlling. So the dysfunctional reptilian brain and the emotional brain is dominating the world. And that's why we have everything we have, including pandemics, mass migrations, violence, corruption, terrorism. Problem is that we are no longer living as hunter-gatherers. We are in a post-nuclear age and cyber warfare age, where these ancient tribal tendencies and modern capacities can totally cause our extinction. So what you're doing with the Peace University is very significant, very important. Actually, I just pulled out my book, Peace is the Way, which I presented to Oscar Arias in Costa Rica many, many years ago. He was then the president of Costa Rica, Nobel Prize winner. Costa Rica is a good example of how one can lead the world peacefully. So beyond the ego responses, we have other responses: restful awareness, intuitive response, creative response, visionary response, sacred response. And these are basically the centers of awareness that Eastern wisdom traditions have talked about. In any moment, your life is a reflection of your state of awareness. So once you get to your most fundamental state of awareness, which in the yogic traditions and the Eastern wisdom traditions we call pure consciousness, beyond the conditioned mind, then that state of awareness automatically presents as peace. If you look at the yamas and niyamas of the yoga teachings, the first yama is ahimsa, first. And the last niyama is surrender to divine mystery. In between, there are many others, rules of social and personal engagement, but just let's take the first one. And Ahimsa, Patanjali says, in the presence of peace consciousness, when you're established in peace, all beings around you cease to feel hostility. All beings around you, not just humans, even animals. Now, we've seen evidence of this with the teachings of the great rishis and the seers, but nothing is more important right now for us to embody peace at the most fundamental level. So in the book, I created techniques, being peace, feeling peace, thinking peace, creating peace, standing for peace, on and on, with peace practices, and also practices for conflict resolution. But the main idea is all you have to do is look at your own world, and it's reflecting this moment. Your body, mind, and brain are reflecting your state of awareness. And all we can do is expand our state of awareness. And if there's a critical mass of people moving in this direction, then not only does the mind change, the body change, perception changes. And when perception is shifted through an internal narrative, then the world transforms. There's no other way. We cannot join one force or the other, because as long as there's duality and polarization, you'll be only adding to the darkness. So we are here to support you, Gabriella and I, with all our heart and all our enthusiasm. But I think this needs a proper, significant movement, which you are leading. Gabriella is leading this movement through the foundation, through what we call Never Alone. We have a whole series of campaigns coming. She's doing some programs with artists, Never Alone artists. But right now, everybody is saying that the need is maximum diversity, shared vision, complementing each other's strengths, and then practicing what we call the 4A's: acceptance, affection, attention, and appreciation. And there's no one better qualified to share this with you than Gabriella. So I'll let her say a few words. I have to be leaving in about 5-6 minutes for another interview. But Gabriella, take it from here. I'll stay here for as long as I can.
Thank you, Deepak. Thank you, Luis. To echo Deepak, everything is within this mental space, and Never Alone. So for those who know, it initially started from suicide prevention, a story where we lose our loved ones to suicide, to this invisible pandemic of mental health. Now we've had a physical pandemic, quote unquote, physical pandemic of health. And the problem is now we're going into a warfare. And as Deepak said, this warfare was almost always there, because it's part of our hidden reality, which is what state of awareness are we living from? What state of awareness are we being from? And that's a very important question, because we look at the world as if it's out there, but the world is who we are, and the world is what we are, because there is no distinction there. It's just, we're all genders, we're all nations, we're all races, we're all species. We are the universe, the Aham Brahmasmi, which is this wonderful Sanskrit mantra, which is, I am the universe. We are the universe. We are socially responsible for one another, and to experience that, because I believe that to know these things is wonderful, but if we don't experience it, it's all textbooked, it's all scripture, it's not alive. We don't feel it. And as human beings, we operate through our senses, through our 5 senses. So we need to experience peace through the sensational exchange with who we are as true self, as realized self, as beingness, as human beingness. And so that's really where we're coming from when we come into this. We're not taking sides. We're not even addressing that. We're looking at who we are truly. And to highlight, Deepak, we look at very simple tools, and simple reflective tools to allow us to engage in this self-reflection, in this beingness, is ultimately creating a relationship with self. And sometimes the relationship with self starts with the other, the 4 A's. So when we learn to, the first A is we bring our attention. So let's bring our attention to maybe just who you are. Who am I? Am I Gabriella Wright? Am I just my first name? Who am I beyond the I am? There's something there. There's this subtle essence there. And I feel it just now. All of a sudden, my body is full of the awareness of what is beyond my name, my identity, my form. Once you turn into the appreciation, which is the first A, you go into attention, you go into appreciation, and all of a sudden you bring in your awareness to the subtle reality of what that is. You start appreciating your form, the formless contour of who you truly are, which is infinite self, which is infinite reality, which is the universe, which is every country in this world, that we are everyone. And so you start appreciating the immensity of who you are, and you don't know it. So you're appreciating that mystery of who you are. Then we go to something very simple, which is affection. We all need a hug. We all need some form of love, a bridge of affection, whether it's a smile and you look at yourself in a mirror, whether it's a smile and you look across the frontier and you're looking at a quote unquote soldier, but you're smiling. And so there's a point there where you're taking a stance and you're engaging with the motion of love, the motion of awareness, which is intrinsically layered with love. And the last A is acceptance. And, there's certain things that just are. Impermanence is part of this life cycle. We lose people we love. We experience birth. We experience death. We experience the seasons that change. We experience peace. We experience war. And so all of this transition, we have to accept. And when we're in this state of acceptance, that doesn't not mean we are not reacting. But when we're in a state of acceptance, a space occurs and miracles happen. Because I do believe that we can be peace. I do believe that we can actually become more than who we think we are. I believe that we are not restricted humans. I know that we are capable of grandiose things, experiences, of visions. And as a species, as human beings, we have this common denominator. It's the activation. We can activate each other in this chorus, this song of our greatness. And it only happens if you know who you are. And if you know that you are actually a mystery and everyone is connected, and we're constantly co-creating reality from these different states of awareness, then it becomes a choice. It's not something that you're victim of. It becomes an empowered choice, and peace is the way, because there is no other way than experiencing your own experience of beingness. So that's what I have to say.
Well, that's very enlightening. And before I go, I'm making an offer, Louis, that we can incorporate the 4 A's, but also the peace practices here, and we can create meditation. So I have been doing this myself, Sunday being for peace, Monday thinking for peace, Tuesday feeling for peace, Wednesday speaking for peace, Thursday acting for peace, Friday creating for peace, Saturday sharing for peace. If enough of us do this, and Gabriella can lead meditations on this in the future, I think we can collaborate together with you and the Peace University and everything else that you're doing. So I will leave at this point. Gabriella, can you continue for a few more minutes? I know you have a lot of work, but I have an interview with CNN. I'll follow up. Louis, thank you for the opportunity. And Gabriella, thank you for leading this and being a true example of a great leader. So with that, I'll say goodbye. Please continue and know that we are here to support you, Louis, and the foundation, and Gabriella, and all our leadership team at Never Alone and the Chopra Foundation. Take care. All my love.
Thank you, Deepak. You're amazing.
Gabriella, please continue.
Thank you, Deepak. Thank you.
Thank you. So actually, Gabriella, why don't we do one of those meditations? I mean, why don't we practice one of those? Because I mean, sometimes, and this is actually what we are doing right here at the University of Peace these days, is about embodiment. So it's, unless we embody, it's very difficult. And I think what you, Deepak, Punach, and everybody is doing at the Chopra Foundation is the embodiment part.
Yes.
It's true that at some point we have to talk, but the reality is that at some point we don't need more words.
Yes, I agree.
And something that we really need to combine is the concept of peace and happiness. They complement each other.
Absolutely.
It's an incredible way. So why don't we, do you mind leading a short?
Absolutely. I'll do a short meditation to crown and to link joy, happiness with who we truly are. So if you just settle in your body and close your eyes and just feel your body. Bring your awareness to the contour of your body and the contents of your body. So just start feeling your legs, your feet, your abdomen, your heart, your chest, your head, your cheeks, your ears, the top of your head. And now you're experiencing the field of possibilities of who you are. And if you pay attention, you might feel a little bubbling sensation, like a tingling sensation. It's as if these cells in your body just want to awaken. They want to move. They want to flush your own being. It's like this slight shivering, tingling in all of your body. So those cells are cells of joy. And that's why they're tingling. It's just joy, bubbling of joy. Your true state of awareness, when you tune into your body, the contour of your body, when you feel inside your organs and you start tuning in to every aspect of this incredible body that we carry every day, then you realize that all of these cells are joyous. They are moving constantly in motion in a dance, in the cosmic dance of creation, the Shiva Shakti. And now bring your awareness to your heart area. And we're just going to implant intentions. We can call them sutras, but in English we'll call them intentions. And just silent repeat, peace, harmony, joy, and laughter. peace, harmony, joy, and laughter. And whatever noise you're hearing and whatever noises are around you, that's part of life and its beautiful spectrum. But if you're in your seat of awareness, in your heart, you can radiate peace, harmony, joy, and laughter. And then just simply breathe in and breathe out and open your eyes. Simply. It was a very simple practice, but you see, when you tune into your body, because that's something very tangible, right? You know, we think of all these things out there, but when you tune into this vessel that we embody, that we think we carry, or we think that we are, then you realize that it's a field and it's moving and there's motion. And that motion carries joy. There's no restriction there. And where there is restriction, bring more awareness to it. Bring the peace, bring the laughter, bring the joy. You know? So that's who we have to be. We have to be for peace.
We have to be for peace. I couldn't agree more. One last question.
Yes.
We know and we see every day many people suffering a lot. So this is like, I mean, at some point, I really feel so honored to be able to be of help to so many people who suffer. But I was wondering, what is your advice for somebody who is actually watching this and say, well, sure, this is amazing when everything is okay, but what do we do when suffering is so hard that we cannot even think? Do you have a recommendation?
No, we all go through these moments where we are so close to not only our own impermanence, to our own death, but also witnessing people we love who are not here anymore, who've experienced great tragedy. I mean, I could walk out of here and, you know, a bomb could, I mean, that's reality. When the war started last week, and my father was born during the war in 1941, and there was a bomb that went through his house, and he lived most of his first 4 years in a shelter in London. And so the truth is that he has now experienced post-traumatic stress, and I'm feeling that because I'm his daughter, because I feel things, you know, we experience, it's a generational thing. So I think if we put things into perspective, yes, there is suffering. Yes, we suffer as observers, we suffer, but we also have the possibility to change empathy, which is meaning I feel, into compassion, which is love in action. And so the more you can be in action, the more you feel that you are contributing to another in suffering, in sufferance, then it will heal you. The more you do something for someone else, it will create that bridge of communion with the other. And there you share that mental space that allows love, that allows joy, even if it's the end of, quote unquote, the world of the moment, right? Of that moment. And it is hard because our media, our social media is already superimposing. So to create a distance with that, it's self-love. To create a distance with mind pollution is self-love, but that doesn't mean you do not care. It's about how do you create that wonderful bubble so that you can create the world and share that world with another, because we can't have more suffering because there are people who are suffering. So it's our responsibility to be the balance and make sure, yes, I'm feeling what they feel. I know how it is. I am there. I feel it. I'm not there as you are, but I can try and do as much as I can. Do research, find the right people to learn from. Do not get involved in political arguments. Do not take sides. Understand the real state of the human condition, which is suffering. The Buddha did say this. Life is related to a cycle of suffering. So once you know that as observers, you can enlighten yourself and you can nourish yourself through these eyes of an awakened mind and bodhicitta, which is the essence of compassion. It feeds you and it feeds the other. So yes, I mean, I don't know if that was something that I answered well, but it was quite long. But I know that when I'm in deep suffering and when I'm very sad and I'm depressed and curled up in a ball on my bed, and when my sister died, the only way to get back on my feet was to be able to say, okay, she was not alone. There are millions of people in her state. There are millions of people who feel alone right now, like me, curled up on a bed. So I need to get up and I need to make sure that they feel that they're not alone. So all of a sudden you take a leadership position, whether you're talking on a stage or not. It's not, leaders are not about staging, not about theaters, not about, Zooms, not about, all of this. Leaders, it's that state of self-empowerment that heals through presence of being. And when you become that presence of being for yourself and others, then you can shift the world, whether it's your community, a family, or, people on the other side of the globe. Everyone feels everything. So, voila.
Beautiful. Voila. I think that no, but I mean, you are so deep into the explanation that at some point in Buddhism as well, that people like you are bodhisattvas, are people that are helping others to get to another state. And I feel that this is what we need as well. We need to be observers of what's going on. We need to bring tools. We need to bring awareness and a lot of love to many people. And this is what I am getting from everything that you are saying. So thank you so much. I think this is beautiful as always.
Thank you.
I really want to say thank you for everything that you do.
Oh, thank you. And thank you for being in the University of Peace, because that's like my favorite place in the world, as well as the Himalayas. So
next March, you have to come. Okay?
Please. I would love that. Thank you so much.
Peace and happiness. This is the right combination. That's the right Molotov cocktail. Peace and happiness. Use that one.
Image. Beautiful image. I love that. Oh, thank you. Be safe, and thank you for your leadership, and be well. Be well. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.